before we go into this segment, just want to give you a little bit of a disclaimer. If there are kids in the room, you might want to put some earmuffs on them because we're going to heat things up, all right? Okay. When it comes to those special spots on your partner, we are all aware of the ones that are obvious, but there are several others that can really get things heated up in the bedroom. Dr. Angela DeRosa and Dr. Al Borhan are here to talk about what we really could be missing out on. This is one of those conversations that I don't know that all couples would sit down and have because you don't know about the assumptions, but that's why we're having this conversation, because we really want things to go well in the bedroom. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
And it's fun to have two physicians on to talk about this. Why is it so tough for us to bring things up with our partner?
Well, I think there's an element of embarrassment, and also women, we've been taught to be ladylike and never talk about sex. So to actually tell men what we want, or our partners what we want, there's a big stigma associated with that.
All right, let's bring the male factor in on this, who also just so happens to be a doctor. I'm guessing that most men do want to know exactly what a woman wants.
Correct, but it's very much like if you buy a very high-end car, you might not know what half the panel does. I think that
you got to read the owner's manual.
Correct. I mean, you basically drive it from point A to point B, but if you never use the button on the right, you don't know what a wonderful ride you could have. And I think it's about learning how to expand on that ride.
And also, not all cars are made alike either.
Very true. Okay, so if we want to get the motor running or the engine all revved up, regardless of model, since we've probably got people's attention now, they'd probably come in from the kitchen or maybe watching. Let's start with men, okay? What are the spots on our guys that they're desiring us to go after, but we're not aware of?
Well, this is all based on a study that was based in England and South Africa, and I think the important points that they hit upon was that granted, the special man parts that we all know, the male genitals, are one of the primary zones, but there are other areas like the inner thighs, surprisingly for men, the back of your knee.
Really?
Yes, and which was another difference between the two sexes. Men's hands, they were very sensitive, and that was one of the newer things that came to the forefront.
How interesting. I'm reading lips, mouth, back of neck, and Scott didn't think I would say this, nape of neck. It is a little weird, the word nape. Nape of neck. Ears, nipples, and then you covered some of the other stuff that I don't really want to say.
What were they?
Oh my gosh. Pubic hairline, penis, scrotum. You owe me $5.
Oh, that's what I said you wouldn't say.
Perineum. Is it okay if I ask you what that is? I don't know. No. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll have to
yes,
Google it.
The perineum is a very special space right behind your male or female organs.
Oh, Dr. Oz always talks about that.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Don't act like you didn't hear what Dr. Oz said. Okay, so let's talk about the women for the guys who are watching.
Well, certainly we talk about the female genitalia, but women, we love the lips. And if you ever always talk to other women, they say if a guy's a bad kisser,
It's over.
he's out of there.
Yeah.
You're not even getting close to the female parts.
It's so true.
But also the nape of the neck, as you talked about, we get that sensation of chills whenever someone starts to lightly kiss that or blow on it lightly. Also, we talk about the nipples being very, very sensitive in women. Not only are they designed, obviously, for milk letdown, but the pressure on the nipples actually causes uterine contraction, which can cause an increased strength of orgasm.
Really?
And also that kind of pressing of the orgasm, which is wonderful.
Okay, see, this is all very medical here, so we want to keep it, it's medicinal.
Yes, it's medicinal.
Okay.
But one of the things that differed markedly from men is also our lower back, that it's very, very sexy, and just having that light touch or even deeper touch, either or, depending on the female, but it's also very erogenous. And as similar to men, the inner thigh, it's that anticipation that is really wonderful in that area.
Okay. Anything else either of you want to add? Or Mr. Passmore was taking notes over there. Did you want to add anything here?
There was
I
Thank
agree
you.
with what they said.
You agree. You concur. All right, Dr. Borhan.
There was one thing that was surprising. Feet were not very popular.
Really?
Yeah, and everyone is looking at feet as being your special organ. We love how we look in shoes, and we love touching each other's feet, but feet were not very popular.
Great,
in the
we can
study.
stop spending all that money on our
But I think that's a little bit different,
pedicures.
is that actually men are visually attracted to feet, but when it actually comes to the erogenous zone, it's not a very popular spot.
There you go. I think of that scene in Boomerang, and we'll leave it at that.
Exactly.
It's 8:21 Arizona, and we will be right back. Thank you.